years ago you were born again?
28 years.
28 years.
Yeah.
28
See,
years.
it's the test of time with the people that the people that I mix with, even today. Back in the day, it was all villains and that, you know. But the people I still mix with now, they may have thought there was something funny going on, but it's only time's the test. 28 years, and I'm still talking to them about the Lord. Yeah. And 3 or 4 of them have come to the Lord, my friends, a couple who I was in prison with, who I never thought they would, and they've done it. It's not my timing, it's God's timing, not Jimmy Tibbs. Like my mum, my old mum, when I used to go around and say, after I become a Christian, I used to go around and she goes, Jim, you look so well, you're one of God's disciples. Oh, Jim, you look so peaceful. Where is the rant and rave about the boxing and that? Oh, Jim. So I went, Mum, do you want what I've got? She went, what do you mean? I went, you can have this. She went, Jim, please, no. And she started crying, real tears, crying, because the spirit in her, and I don't want to get too spiritual here, but the spirit in her wouldn't let her do it. This is what happened. So I went, right, Mum, stop. She went, what a nice cup of tea. After she'd been crying, what a nice cup of tea, Jim, as if nothing happened. When I made a cup of tea, years went by. Still spoke to her about God, but not in a big way. She moved out to Dartford with my sister, out to Kent, and one day I got a phone call from my sister, said, Jim, Mum's not very well. I knew she hadn't been well. I should pop and see her now and then, but she's in hospital now. I went over there right away, and the doctor was waiting there for me, and he said in front of my mum, is this your son, Mrs. Tibbs? She said yes. She was sitting down. He said, do you want me to tell him now, or do you want me to take him in the office? So I thought, something serious. So he goes in the office, she said, take him in the office, goes in the office, and he went, Mr. Tibbs, I've got some bad news. Your mum's got 3 months to live. So I was a bit taken back, even though she was getting on, 80 years of age, but she's a big, strong woman. My sister started crying. So I said to the doctor, well, what can I say to her? I said, what do I do? He said, look, you can take your mum home Monday. So my sister went, Jim, she can come live with me in my place. Okay, so we sorted it all out. So when I went back round to see my mum, remember what happened years before? She didn't want it. Something was holding her back, she didn't want it. When I went round and said, I looked at her sitting there, and I looked at her and I put my arms out to her like that. I was standing up, I put my arms out to her, like that, and the tears began to run down my face. I said, Mum, I want to tell you about Jesus. She said, yes, Jim. And she made that commitment. She admitted she was a sinner, something my mother would never do, because she was always never wrong. She admitted she was a sinner. She made that commitment, and she did die within 3 months. But the Lord confirmed it to me before she died. She always used to have a go at my wife, you know, my daughter-in-laws and mother-in-law sometimes don't get on. But my wife nursed her with my sister, and she was like a little doll in my Claudette's arms. And she looked at Claudette and said, I'm sorry, Claude. Something she'd never said. And I know that was the Lord saying, Jim, don't worry about her now. Don't you worry, she's with me. And she died a couple of days later.
Amen.
But that's one experience.
Amen.